Horizons senior and youth cooking class today. Today we have a kid-friendly class ahead for us, and this is healthy snacks that we're going to be preparing for the kids before school, if they want for breakfast, lunch, even a snack after school. So stay tuned and let's have some fun making some pizzas and some smoothies and popsicles today. Enjoy. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with our kid-friendly homemade pizzas. Now you can at home, you can make your own dough if you want. There's different ways to do it. You can do a one with the yeast. You can buy the flour with the self-rising flour, and you would just add some yogurt to that, and you can knead that for about 8 minutes. But this is really simple. This is just a tandoori naan bread, and you can buy these in different varieties. This one I like because it looks so authentic. If you made your own, and you can see the nice blister bubbles on the back. But we're gonna make these. These are gonna be the basis for our pizzas. So we're gonna go ahead, and I have my olive oil. Just gonna dip my brush in here, give it a nice paint job. And then we're just gonna spread some garlic on these. And this is so simple for an after-school snack that your kids will absolutely enjoy and very healthy. And these, by the way, are vegan friendly. There is no egg in this bread, so it's vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly. And obviously we're just making margarita pizzas, as you can see, with the toppings. I have some chopped garlic, and I'm just gonna smear that around with my hands. And I'm just gonna throw these in the oven like this for about 5 minutes. I've already got my oven preheated to 375. My oven's not as hot as most ovens, but 350 if you have a good oven. Mine are a little old, but I'm gonna put these on a nice sheet, a baking sheet that's been wrapped with tinfoil, helps with the cleanup. And these are going in the oven, like I said, for 5 minutes, and then when they come back out, we're gonna top them with some cheese and some tomato, and then that is it. 10 minutes in total. And this is a fast, easy, healthy snack for everybody to enjoy. Okay, so now these have just come out of the oven after 5 minutes. We set our timer. As you can see, not a whole lot of browning going on with the garlic, but it's nice and it's happy in the oil that we put on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and top it off with our tomatoes. And then I'm gonna put some nice cheese over top of that, and then we're gonna throw these guys right back in the oven for about 5 minutes until the cheese melts. And then we're gonna top them with our basil and our fresh, or our balsamic. So always use your oven mitt because this is hot, although it doesn't look like it. Okay, so these have just come out of the oven after cooking for the second time in a total of 10 minutes. Shut the oven off, don't forget that. Go ahead and grab a spatula. Cheese is nice and melted. We're just gonna transfer it to our cutting board and finish topping it off with our freshly torn up basil from the garden. And yes, these are tomatoes right from the garden as well, so you can utilize that. I love basil in there, especially with the garlic and the olive oil. And then I like to use just a little 1/4 teaspoon of the balsamic vinegar and just kind of drizzle that all around. And look how easy that delicious snack is. Go ahead and cut that in 4, or if you like it in 2. Like I said, this makes a great snack for after school in a total of 10 minutes. And then just put that on a plate, and then as you can see, that nice cheese is melted. And there you have it, after school snack. Have that with a nice salad, garden salad, maybe some cut up sweet potato fries, and you have a nice little meal. But for now, it's a nice little snack. So there you have it. Enjoy. All right, so now we're gonna go on and make our healthy smoothie. Now this smoothie that I like to call my creamsicle, only because of the orange juice and the mango, the frozen mango, and we're using fresh Greek yogurt, plain, and then I've got our honey from our lovely Anderton Bee Company, so we're gonna be using a little bit of honey with that. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the frozen mango. I just bought this at the grocery store. You can buy mangoes, cut them up yourself, freeze them. If you're not gonna eat them right away, they make great smoothies, as does any fruit that's going bad. If you find that it's going bad, just freeze it, use it in your smoothie. So we're gonna use about a cup of frozen mango. This is a 1/2 cup, so I'm gonna double that. There we go. And this is how easy this is. We're gonna use a cup of the yogurt. I've already gave it a good stir. There's 1/2 cup and 1 cup. And then I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of our orange juice right into here. And perfect. And there you have it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add our lovely honey. But a good teaspoon is good, so I'm just gonna let that drizzle in there. I did pick up this when we were on our field trip, so I'm so glad I get to use it. And there you go, just for that little bit of sweetness. Instead of using sugar, honey's better. And go ahead and put your lid on. It's gonna get a little noisy, but we're gonna go ahead and puree this, and then you're gonna have a fresh smoothie in a matter of 30 seconds. All right, so there you have it. Within 30 seconds, we just blended this nice smoothie up. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in our glass. You can see it's a little thick and it almost looks like ice cream. And by the way, this makes a great popsicle if you're looking for a popsicle to freeze up for later. And as you can see, we are gonna be making popsicles today. And I do have this popsicle maker. So with any leftover smoothie that you're not gonna eat, throw it in your popsicle maker, stick it in the freezer for 4 to 6 hours. Great popsicle to go with it. And there you go, enjoy your smoothie. This is one of many smoothies that you can enjoy. I've given you a couple recipes. The other one is a kale and blueberry smoothie, very delicious. You think you're not eating your vegetables, you will this way. So if you're not a big vegetable eater, mix it in a smoothie and it's very healthy for you to enjoy. So here you have already frozen for you. I've already done this at home for you. This is a popsicle mold that I have at home. Basically the leftover, whatever your smoothie is, this is what the outcome will look like. And as you can see, it's delicious, nice popsicle that you made fresh, you know what's in it. And a good way for the kids at home to enjoy this is taking a cupcake wrapper, cut a little slit at the bottom of it, and stick it up the popsicle stick so it acts as a little skirt to the popsicle. So when it drips, your little ones aren't full of sticky popsicle. They can actually catch their drippings in the cute little skirt of the cupcake wrapper. So enjoy. All right, so now I have a washed watermelon, and I'm gonna show you guys how I prepare a watermelon. Take the skin off with your knife and cut it all up nicely. And then we're gonna go ahead and make popsicles out of this watermelon. I have a nice recipe that I've given you guys. But right now I'm gonna show you how to cut up a watermelon safely, always using a sharp knife. And what I do is I cut off the ends at each end so I have a nice flat surface to work with. So you're basically just gonna cut off that end piece, slide her around, keeping it straight, cut off the other end. And now I can stand up my watermelon and start carving this way. So I'm gonna go ahead up top, and you can see where the white rind is. It's about a good 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of the white that we wanna get rid of. So we're just gonna follow our knife all the way down. I would say let your mom and dad do this one. Kids, I wouldn't really do this. It's a little, I don't want you working with a knife like that. Until you're skilled with a knife and you can control it without cutting your fingers off. So you just wanna work this knife right around the watermelon, getting as close to the actual watermelon itself. I wouldn't do this for a real huge one. I would cut it in half, but this size, it's kind of okay. It's like a medium size. Stay with me, because we're almost done. If you want to keep your rind on, you just cut off your ends. Make sure you have a flat surface to cut it with. I'm gonna get rid of this scrap. I'm gonna go ahead and continue down, just getting off all that white. Let your knife do the work. You just guide it. Try to go a little bit fast. As you can see, it's gonna kind of look like a whole watermelon without the skin. It's looking like a rose, actually. Okay, nice little tulip going on here. Keep spinning it. All right, I'm gonna get rid of all this. That's a beautiful little tulip. We're gonna get that off. And then I'm gonna flip this guy around and do the same, just so all this excess is off. Nobody really eats this, so I like getting rid of it. Now I'm gonna tip it this way. See how it's nice and flat all by itself? Just gonna continue cutting that. Just be careful because it is a little heavy. And there you have your watermelon that's been shelled, if you will. And then I like to take this watermelon and I just cut them in half. And then I put them both on their flat sides. Easy cutting. We never want to work with a round surface that's wobbling all over. Cut that right in half again. And then you can see you can lay it flat again. You're gonna have like 4 parts to this. So we'll just slide this over here for a sec. And then you just take your knife, fingers tucked, as always. I like them about this size. Nice 1/4 inch thick. Nice uniform slices. Once again, let your knife do the work. You just guide it. If you keep all these intact, when you go to present it on your platter, you'll have a nice display that you can actually just kind of lay out. You can swirl it. You know, it looks real pretty on a platter. So there you have a nice even slices. And then you can finish off your watermelon, put it in the fridge, wrap it up. But we are gonna go ahead and chop this up. We're gonna puree this into our popsicle making, and we'll enjoy that treat later. Okay, so now we're on to our popsicle making with our watermelon that we've already cut up. All those beautiful slices are just gonna get now blended up. So it's roughly 3 cups watermelon. I saved some of our watermelon as little chunks to put in for some texture in there. About 1.5 cups of our coconut water. 1, 2, and 3. Hey, fresh is best. If you have a real coconut, you get the water out of there. Beautiful. And then of course a little drizzle of honey, or a lot. I'm gonna go with a nice teaspoon. Oh, let's do a tablespoon. What the heck? You only live once. Must have some lime in there for a little bit of nice tarty flavor. About a teaspoon. All right, and my lid. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this is all pureed. So as you can see now, we're filling our molds up with just a little bit of chunks that we saved. And as it freezes, they'll kind of float around and you'll see some texture in your popsicle. So this is really nice, refreshing summertime popsicle that is so easy to make with your extra watermelon. And with this, we're just gonna fill them up. Don't be scared by the texture. It looks watery, and that's because it's supposed to be. Note to the watermelon and the coconut water. These will freeze, so you don't have to worry. Just fill them up. And then we're gonna put the lids on them, throw them in the freezer overnight, 4 to 6 hours if you want. And then you'll have a nice, beautiful treat. And with popsicles, you can add blueberries, straw, any fruit. There's a whole list of fruits that you could use. Bananas, anything you want, blueberries, mangoes, anything will freeze with this. And then go ahead and put your things on, tops. And if you don't have the tops, like I'm missing a couple, I like to halfway through the freezing process. I can't stick it in now because it'll just kind of fall to the side. Once it's halfway frozen, it will stand up straight. Well, you know what? Maybe I will. It seems to be holding its, and then in the freezer they go. And there you have a nice watermelon freezy. Okay, I'm gonna attempt something because I wanted to show you guys how to carve a swan out of an apple, but I didn't have my apple today, so I'm gonna try making a swan out of this watermelon. So bear with me as I do this. I have the edge here that I just trimmed away from here, from our cut up watermelon. I'm gonna make a little swan head, and I'm gonna try to keep it just so that will stand up in my swan. Kind of resembles a little beak. We'll see. So what you want to do is, if you had the apple, visualize this being an apple. You want to go almost in the middle, but not quite in the middle, just a little bit to your right. So here's your middle. Keep my fingers there as a guide. And I'm going to go about 1/4 inch past my fingers. And I'm just going to go down almost all the way through, but not quite. I'm going to leave 1/4 inch at the bottom. I don't want to cut all the way through. And then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to slide this in front of me. It would be easier if I had an apple because this knife isn't quite big, but we'll try. We're going to go right to where I cut there. Let's see if I can match it up on this side. Get this guy out of my way. Cut him. And you just want to go to where you're cutting, and so it moves like this. That's what you want to see. So there's your apple. You made your first cut. And we're going to do that again about 3 more times. So I like to take that fingers, 1/4 inch, cut down, try to stay straight. As straight as you cut down, the easier it will be for you. And don't go all the way down. Once again, you're going to leave 1/4 inch. I'm going to come on this side and look. Some people like to use a butter knife as their guide. I just kind of been doing this for so long that I kind of got it. Freestyle, if you will. So you can see my cut. I'm just going right there, not through. You don't want to go all the way through. Once it starts to move, there's my second cut. So you can kind of see I got 3 angles right now. So I'm going to do a couple more. This is called fun with fruit. You want to get your kids to eat fruits, make cute little swans out of them. it doesn't take that long. Just be careful on the ends here. It gets a little tricky because you're working with less, getting closer to your fingers, if you will. Always use a sharp knife. I've never done a watermelon swan, but hey, first time for everything. So there you have it. He's moving, I think. Let's cut him down. Okay, so now you can see, this is the first side of the actual swan, what it will look like. There's his wings. If you could see on an angle, this is gonna be his right side of his body. So there's his one side of his wing. It's actually working. I'm excited. It's gonna be the first swan. Maybe I'll give him a lime head. All right, let's go on to the second part. Keep that closed. Keep that middle part for his body, because that's where we're gonna stick this part as his little head. We'll keep that up. All right, so now, same idea, but only on the opposite side of the watermelon or apple. Red apples look really good when you do this. I'm gonna just turn this, I like to work on one side only, so I'm not really good with going left, and you'll probably find that too. So I got my first cut. Remember, not going all the way down. You just wanna match them up, right? You want the wings to be the same. And then same with leaving that 1/4 inch at the bottom. Okay, so let's do this. Slide out all your little pieces that you cut. This is why it's good to keep them kind of uniform, same size, so it looks a little bit better. Okay, that's the back of his body. I'm gonna turn him so he's facing you guys. I'm just gonna take out a little piece of the up here, about the 1/4 inch here, just up top for his head. It's easy to use a paring knife, which I should probably be using. Just take out a little piece. This might work. And when you have an apple seed, it broke, you stinker. That's okay, we'll do it again. Never give up. Maybe his head's too long. Maybe I'll stick it in this way. Mind you, an apple's more stiff, but you could see the beak that I kind of broke off. But if you put 2 apple pieces of the seeds as the eyes, there you have a little apple swan. But this is our watermelon swan, so just imagine he has eyes. But how cute is that for your platter? And the kids can just come along and take a piece and voila. So thank you for tuning in today to our kid-friendly popsicle smoothie pizza making day and our lovely swan. Let's not forget him. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed today, and happy cooking.